Well, hello there, everybody. This is all right, isn't it? Pretty nice spot here. I'm actually today at the headquarters of the National League here in the United States. This new league that was formed. Formerly, it was known as the NPSL. Now those guys have taken over the entire league structure, and they're so impressed with my success at Minneapolis City that they've just interviewed me. If you don't believe me, well, keep an eye on all my socials because I'll be sharing the interview there when it's live. But yeah, had a good chat with them. Also, big news, got a new contract at Minneapolis City. Old Dan there has offered me big money to stay on and lead the team to glory. We, today, have an important episode. It's not an end of season episode, okay? But it is an important one because today we are finally going to realise a big dream for Minneapolis City. I'll explain more after the intro. Before we get into the episode proper, I'm just going to fill you in on a little bit of real history, break the fourth wall a bit and talk about the real history of this fine club, Minneapolis City SC. And it's to do with this trophy over here, the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup, basically the American equivalent of the FA Cup. So this is one of the only chances in the real world of US soccer for the smaller clubs to have a pop at those big boys in the MLS. Now this is a competition that Minneapolis have tried to qualify for on several occasions. In fact, they have qualified for it on 3 occasions, and yet they've never taken part in the competition proper. One year they were controversially disqualified over selective application of some rules or selective interpretation of some rules. Another year they just lost out in the final qualifying match, having had to make a pretty difficult journey to get there. Then the next year they successfully qualified, but they couldn't compete because of the competition being cancelled due to a global pandemic. And the following year they were invited back, but then the competition, again, due to the ongoing effects of that pandemic, was greatly reduced. And would you believe the US Soccer Federation picked out teams at random to fill the qualifying spots, and Minneapolis just didn't get the luck of the draw. So that's why we are back mid-season for an episode this week instead of end of season, because for the first time ever, virtually at least, Minneapolis City are going to compete in the first round proper of the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. So here we are. It's all queued up. The next game, the live comm game in today's episode, is going to be that first round US Open Cup game, and we are away to the Maryland Bobcats. As you can see, it's currently November. Now, in this restructured world, I'm doing this save in, created by the great FM Digi, of course. This doesn't exactly mimic the real life US Open Cup, but we do have qualifying rounds, so we've come through all of those qualifying rounds. We're in the first round proper now. Those big professional teams, the former MLS teams in this particular universe, they don't enter yet. A bit like the English FA Cup, they will enter in the third round, but it's the first round proper. It's the first time we've made it through the qualifying rounds. We've achieved the board's aim. They wanted first round of the cup. We've made it. And, as I said, if we think about the real world of Minneapolis City Soccer Club and the virtual world, this is one of our biggest ever matches and a chance to progress even further. Now, the more eagle-eyed of you may have noticed that our opponents, Maryland Bobcats, are in our division. It's first versus second. Maryland Bobcats sit top of the league at present in this National League Division 2, and we are on their heels in second. We're unbeaten this season as well. No games lost. Maryland Bobcats have lost to the third placed Boston team, but it's a pretty tight battle, pretty intense battle at the top of this National League Division 2. So this is Tier 6, I believe, on FM Digi's restructured system. It's a national division, so there's no regional groups to this, and the top 2 get automatic promotion. So right now we are in one of those automatic promotion spots, although of course we've got here Boston Columbus Academy not too far behind. There are then 6 playoff places, 5 relegation slots, which did concern me when we first came up, but it looks like we don't have to worry about those. Not unless we befall some big disaster between now and the end of the season. And I've probably just jinxed myself on that one. But yeah, we're playing really well. If we have a look at our matches, now you can see, if we skip past the pre-season friendlies, we did stutter a bit at the start. All those draws, those 5 draws, came in the opening month of play. We drew 5 of our first 9 games. But then we went on a massive run. We won every single game we played through September and October in all competitions, and that's seen us surge up the league to the point where we are now. So yeah, just focusing on the cup results for a moment. You see here, we entered the US Open Cup in the first qualifying round. We took on East Atlanta, first of all, stuffed them 5-1. Pretty easy win on the road there. Then in the second qualifying round, Core Valley, we have played before. We played them in the first season. I think it was in the Vase, though, or the Vase, rather than the Open Cup. Beat them 1-0 thanks to Mark Boquin there with the goal. Then Tormenta, South Georgia Tormenta FC 2. That's a team that beat us back in the first season. They knocked us out of the US Open Cup. We got our revenge. It was tight. It was a 2-1 away win, but we did it. An own goal helped us on our way there. And then in the fourth qualifying round, we took on FC Brownsville. We had to go to extra time to beat them, but we did beat them. Now, as you can see, Mark Boquin, he's been the man in the cup. He's been scoring goals for us in the cup, and I mean, you can see there, he scored in stoppage time to force extra time, and then he scored in extra time to give us the win. So he has been the man. If we take a look at him, he is one of the real players. He's not a regular starter for me, I have to admit. He's more a player I rotate in and out, because in those positions, in those advanced positions, Will Kidd, Justin Oliver, they've got those first team places locked down. But old Mark Boquin, he has been pretty good for us when called upon. But thought I'd use the opportunity to update you on a few of the players as well. So here is our young Brazilian starlet, Marcelo Santiago, the 18-year-old. This boy has been on fire. He's loving it in the National League Division 2. I mean, if I just show you his stats here. Now, last season, 40 appearances, 34 starts, and 24 goals in the league. Now, that is pretty good by anyone's standards. But then you're thinking, well, he's young. We're stepping up a division. Is he going to be able to keep that form going? But man, he has improved to a greater extent than we've stepped up in terms of tiers on the pyramid. Look at this so far. He's averaging more than a goal a game. 19 goals in 17 league appearances. In the cups as well. 7 goals in 6 cup games. 26 goals in 23 starts so far this season. What a player. And again, tearing it up in the attacking positions, Justin Oliver. I keep wanting to call him Jamie Oliver for some reason, but again, he's been supplying the goals as well. 9 goals in 16 appearances so far this season. Look at his average ratings. Look at the consistency on that. First season, 7.11. 7.13 last season, 7.12 this season. He just turns out very good, very high level performances week in, week out. I've also got to update you on this guy, Yared Beyene, our Ethiopian youth prospect. Came through in the first youth intake. Oh, he's just amazing. I mean, you can see there his progress bar. Now, he's had some time out injured this season. We missed him when he wasn't with us, but you can see already, I mean, on a 7.19, 3 goals, 3 assists in 12 appearances so far. Real creative force in the centre of the park, and looks like someone who could stay with us for a few seasons. Even if we get promoted again, I think he's going to stay with us. And Maryland Bobcats are a team that we've played before. We played them last season. Last season, again in the US Open Cup. I think we were both promoted last season, but they were in a different regional group to us, so we didn't get to play them in the league. But in the third qualifying round, it was a tight game, won 1-0 with an Ian Smith goal. So let's hope we can get a similar kind of result today. That was away from home as well. We've improved since then, but, well, I guess from their league position, they've probably improved as well. But before we get into the cup match, I should do my recommendation for this episode. As you know, regular viewers will know, every episode I recommend a North American Football Manager content creator for you to go and check out. And today I want to recommend someone who you may not have heard of before, which is a shame because he's someone who's very consistent and very knowledgeable about the game. Works really hard in putting out his content and deserves a lot more recognition than he gets. And that is FM Jellico. I first came across FM Jellico right back when I started making Football Manager content back in FM18. And as I said, he just does long-term series all the time. So if you really like to follow the development of a team across many episodes, he's your guy to go and check out. Really does display his knowledge about the game of football and about the game of Football Manager. So yeah, go and check out FM Jellico. Drop him a subscribe as well. Now, match time. So it's match day, but some big news for us, and it's not good. Will Kidd, one of our best players, one of the stars of the team, is unavailable. He is injured. He picked up a gashed leg in the last league game. He's still got 3 days left before he'll be fit for play again, so we're going to have to manage without him. But that's all right, I suppose, because it gives us a chance to bring in Boquin, who, as we said before, has been in good form in the Cups so far, but we're going to play him as an inverted winger because that's more of his style, so that's going to suit us playing a bit narrower with Oliver out there as an inside forward. Got Santiago up front as well. Smith, Ruiz, Plaza and Beyene, they've formed quite the trio in the centre of the park. Barry and Kent, strong central defensive pairing. Elder in goal. Got Barr out at left back. Bringing in one of our youth players, Healy at right back, because our first choice right back, Charlie Adams, is, just a bit tired out after the last game. Needs a little bit of a rest, but we want to keep him as a bench option. Now, because Maryland Bobcats are a bit strong, I am going to tweak the tactic a bit, so we're going to drop back to balanced. Now, I did also see in the pre-match report, Maryland Bobcats do like to play balls over the top through the centre, so we're going to go with the offside trap as well. Right, so here come the teams ready to kick off this historic game for Minneapolis City. I don't know if we'll be able to get the win today. Hopefully we can. I mean, the main thing for us, though, is being here. It's the participation award that counts. All right, 10 minutes in, and it's the Bobcats coming on the attack here. They are playing centrally, as we expected, but they found a way through, and has skinned our defence there. They got that ball played through the centre and he just picked out his spot. That was a little bit too easy. I am quite concerned by that. Look, it's just this player just played it through. He got between the defenders. This could be a tough night. Well, up to the half-hour mark, no other action since that goal. So we'll just have to, see if, I don't know, I guess we're going to have a few harsh words with the team at half-time. We're not used to being like this, but here we go. Set piece offers a good chance for us to get something. But they just dealt with that too easily, and now they've got White running down the wing, cutting inside, completely unchallenged. Gets the ball out to the goal scorer, Skinto, and what was that? It was disallowed, but that's the kind of goal we were warned about in the pre-match report. Ball over the top. Way offside though. Quite acrobatic and spectacular with the strike, but no goal thankfully. Well, disappointing first half performance. We just haven't really created anything. Perhaps is Santiago a bit too isolated there, not really getting any support? We're going to have a look at that in the break. All right, so a few choice words at half-time. Told them they weren't good enough, but I always give players a chance to redeem themselves. And there's Beyene with a fantastic free kick. Ooh, great save by the Bobcat keeper, aptly named. But, that would have been great if we could have got straight back into it. But, like I said, I give the boys a chance to kind of up their game a bit after the break. If they're still underperforming, some of them, by the hour mark, they come off. Alright, it's the Bobcats with the ball. They've got the space wide here. Okay, but Ruiz Plaza wins it, but his header just had no direction. Couldn't pick out a teammate there, and straight away we're under pressure. Again, we've got to hold on to the ball much better than that when we can win it. Ooh, luckily for us, he seemed to hit that one with his shin pad rather than his boot. Right then, time for change. Justin Oliver, 6.3. He's having a terrible game. It's unlike him that we're going to bring Boquin out to the right, where he's just going to play as a winger on attack. I'm then going to bring Nick Hutton on the left wing to replace Oliver. We're going to leave Santiago on for now. Hopefully Hutton is going to give him just a bit of better support, but we're going to have him inside forward on attack. We're also going to go positive because we're just not really creating anything. I feel like we're holding back a little bit too much at the moment. Also going to bring on Adams for Healy, the youngster just not having a good game at all. All right, something of a big call here, but I've taken off Santiago. We've moved Hutton into that central striking role. We've brought on the youngster Davis on the left. We have moved Smith up into the deep line playmaker role and Ruiz Plaza up into an attacking midfielder role, just to try and apply some pressure in this final 15 minutes, because so far we have created absolutely nothing. I mean, I thought for a while there I was watching the USA-China game from a postcard series where, China just did nothing in the second half. When we were chasing the game, 10 minutes left, that's all. It's still not happening for us. Right, so we're going more attacking, going wider. Shoot on sight has been put on as well. Up the tempo a lot, and then I guess on the other side we're just going to have to launch the ball over the top. We've got 5 minutes and that's all, and we need a goal. Well, still nothing highlight worthy. We're into stoppage time now. We've done the fire up shout. There's nothing else we can do other than hit very attacking, but it's going to be a first defeat for this series on camera, so it's a shame. We got all the way to the US Open Cup first round, and then a bit of a toothless performance means we're eliminated. So unfortunately our US Open Cup dream ends there for this season, but we were a bit better than last season. We met the board's expectations. We earned £4,000 for it. So now, back to the business of the league. We play Maryland Bobcats again in a couple of weeks' time. Then we've got PDX in the Vars. So now I'm going to get through the rest of the season. I think now I'm finding that trying to get through an entire season in a week and have enough time to then create an episode for you guys, it is most weeks, it seems, a bit of a struggle, a bit of a stretch. So we might do more of this, where the weekly episode is perhaps a mid-season episode, could be a big cup game like today, could be youth intake day, something like that, and then a second episode for the end of the season. If I can get through a full season, then I will do that. But if you don't mind, let me know down in the comments if that sits okay with you, to kind of slow things down a bit in terms of getting the episodes out. I mean, that was the plan. 1 season a week, weekly reviewer episodes. It's just, life. It slows you down sometimes, gets in the way of FM, doesn't it? But yeah, we'll be back next weekend. We will be back at the business end of the season. Maybe, who knows, could we still be involved in the US Vase? Maybe. Will we still be involved in the promotion hunt? Look, there's another game with Maryland Bobcats coming up near the end of the season. That could be one to return for. Who knows? Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed today's episode, despite the lackluster performance. Let me know what you think of how we're doing in the league so far, what you think our chances of staying in this promotion hunt and keeping our unbeaten run going are. On the evidence of today, perhaps they're not that great, but, as always, your comments are appreciated. Your involvement in the series is appreciated. Don't forget, of course, to go out and subscribe to FM Jellico. Maybe drop me a subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Dodgy Gamer. See you next week.